Hello everybody. In this tutorial, we will see together how to list all possible selections of permutations and combinations selected from a list of items. For example, we want to list all pins that can be created from all digits. For example, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 5, 9, 9, 7, and so on. We start by creating our data table. I create a new sheet. Here I will list all the possible digits from 0 to 1 and until 9. As the column, I will call it digit or items. I will convert this list of range to a table and call this table as data. For example, in the main sheet, I add a cell to count the number of items in the data table. For example, here, and I will put number of all items. We use formula count A. Come back and select all our column. Here we have 10. Now I add the cell for my desired selection, which is manually added. We will take this color, one, for example 4 or 3, and we name it selection. Now we must answer to 3 questions. The first one is, what are all possible selections where we can permute and repair the digits? Permutation means that 1, 2, 3 and 3 to 1 are selected. And repetition means that an item can be selected more than one time. For example, 8, 8, 8, 3, 2, 3, and so on. The solution can be done by the formula n power r, where n is all items, number of all items, and r is the size of our selection. The function in Excel to calculate is we have two. Well, the first one is power here, power n, power r. So all items power my selection size, which is 1000. And there is another one which is permutation r. Here we can read what Excel say about this function. Returns the number of permutations for a given number of objects with repetitions that can be selected from the total object. And our n is 10 and r is 3. And here we will get our 1000. We add here formula as text, just to remember the formula that we used. And now we have to list all the 1000 permutations. For example, we add them here. I will write all possible selections of 1000 To do that, we jump to the magical power key. First, we have to add the data table to power key. So you go to our data table, data, and from sheet. Once added, I come back to Excel and add the R parameter, which is the size of my selection. I will add it as table. My table has headers, yes, which is selection. I will call this table as R, for example. Now I will to convert it to a value. To do that, just right click on the number and click on drill down. And here we get our value. Now I come back to my data query. I don't need to change the type because in our example we have digits, numbers. In other example we can have letters or names or other thing. So I will delete this tab. We add new tab just to take the actual value of our selection size, which is R. Okay. R is entered manually. It can be 1, 2, 3 until n. So I need to add items column as many times as R. After adding this step, I will call it size, and I will add another step in the advanced editor. So I have comma. I call it this new step is function. So I will call it, for example, the func for the function, which has two parameters, size and our source. Okay. Then the first step is to calculate the new size. I will call it new size, which is equal to size minus 1. Second step is to add column. I have to add the items column as many times as our size, which is R. So here I will call it add calls, for example, and we will use the function table dot add columns. We will add columns to source. We'll call the new column, for example, call dot and the number of the created column. And R minus new size, which means that if R equal to 5, the first new column will be counted as 5 minus 4, which is 1. Call because R minus new size is number, I have to convert it to text. So I will use number dot to text and convert it to text. This step must be done to each column in source. We have only one. Name of this column is, I think, is items. Yes, it's items. Then the next step is to loop. We will call it loop. So if the new size is under 2, greater than or equal to 2, sorry, then I have to call my function. I will call it with the new parameters, new size instead of size, and add column instead of source. Otherwise, I will stop add columns. So this is our function in loop. So I will ask Excel to create my new source. I will call it new source. If size, which is R, is under 2, then just the source. Otherwise, execute the function, the func. Else the func with parameters R and source. Let's see if it works. So new source. Done. Perfect. And what I have to do, I will add new step. I will list all the name of new column. I will click here. Done. I will add table dot columns name. Open the parentheses. Close it. Then I will keep only the next the new columns. Here I will remove the first one, which is items. I will call this step list of our new columns. Now, in order to expand these two column dynamic with the one step, I will use the one of the, in my opinion, best function is PowerKey, which is list.accumulate. Here I will create a new function. So it's list.accumulate. Then open the parentheses. For the first argument, I have to put the list, which is list new, as we call it in the previous step. The seed or the table here is new source. Then the function is for each x and y. I need to expand the column one after one. Table dot expand list of column is one. Yes. Okay. Then x and y. And now I have to I will get our result. So the second question is what are all possible selections where we can permute, but this time without repetition? The formula is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. The function in Excel is equal to permute, which is the first one, returns the number of permutations for a given number of objects that can be selected from the total object. We select our n, which is 10, and r is 3. Which is 720. Just remember the function. I call it here. Okay. So, how to list all possible selection in Excel? This time is not it's K1, kind 9, yes. So let's jump to Power Query. I need to reference the first query data. Reference it. This one I will call it permit without repetition. Wrapped, for example. Permit without wrapped. Here the source is the same as the first question. This time we have just to remove all rows in which the items, in our example digits, are permitted. To do that, we need just to add a new column. In the new column, we will add, use the function list dot is distant. This function will check if in list of items there are distinct items and return true. So, because our data are on table, we will ask Power Query to convert record to list. No. Record to list. Record to list. This one, not the first one. Okay. For all columns. Okay. Here we have false, 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 and true, true, true. This time we have to filter and keep only true. Now, as you can see here, we have our 720 rows result. Now we can remove this column, new column, and we have our solution. Our last question is, what are all possible selections where we cannot permute and we cannot repeat items, which is called combination without repetition. The formula is n factorial divided by r factorial and divided by n minus r factorial. The function in Excel is combine. Combine number n or r or size of selection. We got 120. To list all items, we come back to our query. I create a new query by referencing the last query that we created, which is remote permutation without repetition. This time I will call it combination without repetition or without wrapped. This time we have to delete all rows in which items are repeated and permuted. To do that, we add a new column. In this column, I will list all the items from all columns. For this, we will use record to list. Okay. And we will do that for each item in each column. Okay. Here I have my list 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, and so on. I come back to my column. Now I need to sort the item into my list. For this, I can use the function list dot sort. Okay. Close parentheses and okay. So the items now are sorted into the list. I expand the new column, not new rows, exact value, and I will ask Power Query to delete, to remove duplicates. Now I can delete this column, I no longer need it, and here I can check that I have my 120 rows selection. At this time, we have all our solutions. I will add them to our this time only create connection. Then I go here and add the list of all permutation with repetition, which is data. I click on data, allow to table, existing worksheet, yes, yeah, and I add the list of permutation without repetition, allow to table, okay, K13, yes, okay, and the last one, which is combination without repetition. Now to table as 13. And now I have all my combinations and all my selections on my sheet. Let's try it. If I change to 2, for example, I go to data and refresh all. Now I have only 2 columns for each solution. If I change my source, for example, I keep only 5 items, yeah, and I put letters, for example, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and I want to take 3 from 6. Refresh all, and here we are, all our possible selection in this table. We have here 216. In the second one we have our 120, and in the last one we have our 20 rows. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that this tutorial will help you. The link to download the file is on the video description. Please don't hesitate to comment and to share this video. Bye bye.